Oh, hi! Nah, just reading a book I got at the train show. This is a Model Railroader's Guide to Bridges and Trestles. Very interesting book here. You got all sorts of bridges. You got wooden bridges. Northern Pacific's transcontinental line. There's one burning. Yeah, all sorts of... Where'd it go? There's the Delaware River Viaduct, the DLNW. It's a 1,452-foot long bridge. Lots of all sorts of different bridges in here. And how you model them, where they would be, how to model a plate girder bridge, all sorts of good stuff. Since I went through the other 18 things, we'll do the books really quickly. This one is a great book. This is B&L Power. I have not gotten into reading this yet, but this is a thick book, and this is going to be a wonderful addition to my library of railroad books. And of course, some of these were actually bought by my mother, but whatever. Like this one was bought by her. This is the Crookedest Railroad in the world. This is a real railroad. This is not a novel. It's a document. It's a historic book of a logging railroad. At least I assume it was a logging railroad. From the looks of it, it looks like it was a logging railroad in California. I have not read this book yet. I don't read much lately. With PTSD, the stress is just too much. This, however, is my, I am going through this, adding it to my builder number book file. Motor Power from 1982 to 1994. It is sad when you look through this book. There's the GP30s, GP38s. Almost every single, most of these, except for the SD40-2s and some of the GP38-2s. I think there's some GP40-2s in here. Almost every single one of the locomotives, a good share of the locomotive models in this book are gone now. They're either scrapped, rebuilt, sold off, whatever. I'm working on figuring out what happened to each one, yeah. The days of SD60s, true SD60s, SD70s, SD40-2s, SD38s are gone from NS. The SD40-2s, of course, are working local service, but you won't often see them leading a mainline freight, and that's something I grew up with. Was Norfolk Southern. When the Dash 9s took a long time to get to this line, it was in the 2000s. It was in the 2000s when the Dash 9s finally started coming to this line. Before then, it was SD70s. It was regular standard cab locomotives running it. If it was a Dash 9, it was usually a top hat, a standard cab Dash 9. But last video, I talked about the many things I got at the first table. I bought things that this video will cover three tables anybody purchases at. First up is a couple of freight cars. This first one is obviously custom, and someone either didn't. Oops, let's turn on that light. And someone either didn't know better or was making a fantasy car. This is a 28 cubic foot 2-bay open hopper lettered as Buffalo, Rochester, and Pittsburgh Railway 16975. The BR&P was merged into the B&O in 1932, but this car has a build date of May 1941, which is not realistic, but it's better than nothing better for the BR&P at this point. It is slightly weathered with KD couplers and metal wheels, But as I was writing this, I noticed one of the custom decals was actually applied upside down. If I can figure out which one it is. I think it's the one. I think it's this one. I'm not sure what the manufacturer of this model is. It might be an Athearn Blue Box. Purchase price was $5. The second car I got at that table, put that in with the Seaboard, is this lifelike 41-foot 6-inch gondola lettered as Chesapeake, Ohio 29773 with a build date of September 1919. It's a model of a Woodside Gondola with steel bracing. The couplers are not KD as far as I can tell. Spider's been crawling on my car. Yeah. But at least they're not horn hook, and also cost $5. As you can see, it's very nicely weathered, especially inside. Look at that rust. Wow, looks real. I mean, that looks real. That is a fantastic job of weathering. That's right up there with Dan's custom trains. That is great. I hope I can weather cars that good someday. Both these cars are to be used in the modular layout. Chesapeake, Ohio became affiliated with the Baltimore, Ohio, and the Western Maryland. In the years of Chassis system, the C&O was placed in the cab of locomotives painted in chassis with the road number denoting ownership. Of course, the C&O, B&O, WM was denoted ownership, not the road number itself. Now let's put this away. Put it next between the DRGW and the Milwaukee. And put these boxes back here. The next table is where I picked up this next item. This box I showed in the video recorded at Batavia, though I haven't a clue how many people saw it. I showed the contents to a few people and then showed it in a short. This was what was seen being pushed by my Dash 8. If you missed that short, go check it out. The box once contained a car-lined 40-foot boxcar New Haven 72305 and the script Herald. It does not have that inside. So instead inside is Baltimore, Ohio GP30 6955. This unit was a Proto 2000 with a QSI 2005 decoder with sound. This unit was formerly a powered unit, but the guy said he had an issue with the running gear and he disconnected it so the wheels would freewheel, but the sound still works. This unit actually was on the B&O through here, but unfortunately it was repainted into chassis paint in 1980 or 1981. Online photos show it in the blue at Bradford, Pennsylvania in 1980 and in chassis at Buffalo, New York in 1981, but I will be using it quite a bit on the big layout paired with the other B&O units and some C&O or WM power. This unit was marked $24, but he sold it to me for $20. Now for table 4. This table I spent the most money, $130 I think. And we're going to pause this because this is getting long. And First, is this Bangor an Aristook? Or Aristic? Depends on the person how you pronounce it. 5312 cubic foot, 50-foot single plug door boxcar built July 1972. This is BAR 5972. The BAR was well known for their red, white, and blue cars. Most of these were insulated boxcars used in potato service that would be loaded with potatoes in England, and then it was often loaded with stuff going to the BAR territory to return home. There was one at the table that I didn't get, but I didn't get it, opting for this more modern car instead. This was made by Athearn and their Blue Box line. And this will be on the big layout. We'll set that aside. It'll look pretty over there. Next is another Athearn Blue Box model, this one of D&H 22241, a 50-foot single-door boxcar built August 1956 with a 58-39 cubic foot capacity and is weathered. This will slightly fit both layouts. All right. Next, we have a fairly heavy car, if I can find it. I think it's this one. Yes. This one is an Athearn Blue Box, but I don't think it's an Athearn model. This thing has quite a bit of weight. Luckily, it'll be pushed most of the time and at low speed, so hopefully won't cause problems. B&O number C 1769 is a March 1957 built caboose that I need to do a little work on. This coupler pocket is broken. I should be able to just take out the screw and straighten the coupler box. Also, one of the steps is broken off. That's this one right here. Someone tried to glue it, but it's only attached by the handrail. The trucks are very heavily weathered. This cost $12. Next is a couple cars in the chassis system. In blue, 50 foot, 39 cubic foot steel box cars built March 1947. These cost $8 and are B&O 371253 and 371629. These will be used in the Finger Lakes Northern. Next is Erie 38090, a 4-bay open hopper with a 2,700 cubic foot of capacity, built December 1929 and possibly upgraded in May 1952. This will deliver coal on the modular layout. Next is an Athearn Blue Box model of Sioux Line 48308. This is a 40-foot double plug door boxcar with the doors being offset, which leads me to guess this is an automobile boxcar. I think this is around 4,000 cubic foot and cost $8. The doors are here. They're offset here, and they're offset here. Wait, do they line up? No, they don't. Doors are here and here, so they're a little bit offset, just a little bit. And the coupler fell off again. I put that on there again, and it fell off again. All right. This next one, you can see the box is a little bit... Okay, let's try and grabbing the right one here. Nope, that's not the right one. This one's the right one. Next one, you can see the box is a little bit bigger. Just a tad. Just a tad. Which would probably lead you to the conclusion. These are turning. Get straight. Which would probably lead you to the conclusion that it's a locomotive. And you would be correct. This one cost me $35 and joins my roster of DC locomotives that need to be upgraded to DCC and sound for use in the big layout. This unit I cannot prove ever was in the area, but for $35 I couldn't pass it up. I would have bought more, but I couldn't afford more than two at the last table. This is Burlington Northern SD 40-26784. The cab is coming a little loose. The nose has the white stripes instead of the B on nose logo, and it has horn hooks, which I will replace with KDs once I do the DCC sound conversion. Yeah, there's their horn hooks. And once I get this back in the box, we'll go on to the last locomotive. And hopefully, Randall, you made it this far. Because you're going to want to see this. In fact, you'll probably want it. You can't have it. This one cost me $25 and it's absolutely nothing I expected to buy. It is a dummy, but I'm going to somehow make it sound a sound-equipped dummy. It was never assembled by previous owners. All the parts are such as the horn, number boards, and railings are not on it. This is Burlington Northern GP50. GP50, whatever, I lost my place. 3142, and is in the Cascade Green, which is pretty typical on the sides and rear. But the front, here is the orange and black tiger stripes. This is a scheme Randall Ellison mentions in chats quite often, and that is why I picked up this locomotive. It will be serving the Finger Lakes Northern section of the big layout, leading foreign power along with BN 6784, bringing cars to the FLN off Conrail. This unit had been repainted into whiteface by 1990, so it will serve for the 1980s. This finishes the purchases at the Batavia Train Show. The next show is October. I believe it's on the 16th, so plenty of time to work into your schedule. I did not get any Conrail stuff this time, though there was a lot of Conrail stuff around. I just didn't see anything that struck me as something I wanted. I did forget to grab a few things. There were 3 through-girder bridges that I intended on buying and some styrene for scratch building. There were 2 chassis painted Jeeps that were $65 each, but I couldn't afford that. And there was a THB boxcar along with a cotton belt caboose that I forgot. One thing that I had hoped to find was a DC power pack so I could use to test my DC locomotives and see if I wanted to upgrade them to DC and sound. I will be getting one at some point. It's not a rush thing. If I want it, will be a while before I'm ready to start working on locomotives. The rolling stock is a great addition to my fleet. Which now numbers around 90 pieces, which I expect to be double by this time next year, depending on how good deals I get at the fall 2022 and spring 2023 shows, along with what I get at the 4 stores of Choice, Dispatch Junction for local purchase, and Yankee Dabbler Model Train Stuff and Lumber and Hobbies for online purchases. Stay tuned for future videos. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever, and ta-ta for now.